Since the beginning of documented history, humankind has been fascinated by sexuality. While today, humans around the world hold diverse and often conflicting attitudes about sex, science identifies sex as a natural human behavior that stems from our deepest biological instincts. While humans are biologically inclined to reproduce, for many people, sexuality has also become an outlet of expression. Human expression of sexuality has evolved dramatically throughout time. The earliest known expression, the Venus of Willendorf, was crafted in approximately 30,000 BC. The ancient Greeks were no strangers to erotic art. Art was their way of acknowledging their accomplishments and honoring their gods through depictions of everyday life. While sex was a part of their daily routine, so was rape. The ancient Greeks took this into consideration when becoming the first to provide erotic art with a name, porne. In ancient Greek, this translates to prostitute or enslaved brothel maid. This gives rise to the question, as porn has evolved, has it strayed from its original connotation? The establishment of the internet changed pornography forever. Whereas most individuals used to have to go out and purchase a Playboy issue or visit a pornographic theater, today most people use the internet for pornography. This is not only for ease of access, but the belief that the internet offers anonymity as well. This anonymity has allowed viewers to seek specific preferences, even those they might have been ashamed of purchasing before. Pornographers use data collected from viewers on the internet to determine future content. In the last decade, violence has become so mainstream, studies indicate that 88.2% of leading pornography scenes depict physical violence. Most of this violence was directed at females who were scripted to respond pleasurably. Most minors will have their first encounter with human sexuality through internet pornography because accessing pornography on the internet is so easy. Some will even continue to view pornography because they perceive internet pornography as private and anonymous. The average age children are first exposed to pornography is 11. This is often a minor's first exposure to human sexuality. A 2018 national survey of 1,000 Americans found only 33% of individuals 18 to 29 have received any form of sex education. Meanwhile, 65% of children will be exposed to pornography by age 15. The typically irregular, violent, and deviant behaviors commonly depicted in pornography often become normalized to minors. Young minds are often unaware that pornography is not meant to provide information, and is certainly not contingent upon educating individuals regarding sexual norms. Pornography is like Hollywood, in the sense that it's unrealistic, highly exaggerated, and the actors are paid. It is not real. Young males and females alike who educate themselves through pornography might adopt unrealistic expectations for others, and most importantly, themselves.
Adolescents exposed to pornography could acquire or exacerbate pre-existing mental health problems. Actors and actresses within the industry often set a high standard for appearance and body image. Additionally, the scenes depicted are frequently compromised of acts many individuals, especially minors, wouldn't initially want to partake in, such as anal sex and threesomes. Many adolescents feel as though they are inadequate compared to what they may perceive as the norm. Therefore, they are subject to low self-esteem and stress, both of which may contribute to depression and anxiety. Furthermore, minors, particularly males who watch porn, adopt the tendency to objectify the opposite sex. Minors often subconsciously adopt rules or practices from pornography. This is known as sexual scripting, which influences cognitions and behaviors. According to Gail Horner, a certified pediatric nurse practitioner, pornography can reinforce sexual scripts minors were previously unaware of by portraying the behaviors as normative, appropriate, and rewarding. The effects of sexual scripting are often subconscious and can last a lifetime. Currently, pornography addiction is not listed within the DSM-5. However, many experts consider it to be a very real problem. 2 individuals interviewed, both of whom have earned doctorates of psychology, agree with this notion. When asked, "Do you think pornography addiction is an issue that can impact minors and to what extent?" Dr. Peter Marcus, a professor at Elms College, responded, "I think a true pornography addiction is fairly uncommon. I think developmentally that many youth will outgrow pornography consumption as mature relationships more often replace the ersatz stimulation. Although I intuitively agree with the research that reports heterosexual male youth pornography consumption does have an influence in their sexual expectations and proclivities that are divergent from the more relational desires and wishes of their hetero female peers." When asked the same question, Dr. Catwoman, a professor at Santa Monica Community College and author of Domination is Abomination, Man Suppression of Woman, answered, "Yes, because both children and adults condition their sexual response cycle to respond to people being treated as less than human. Children are particularly vulnerable because their neurological network and frontal lobes of the cerebral cortex are still forming up to age 25. Another individual interviewed, who claims to be addicted to pornography, had this to say.
It became an addiction for me immediately. I was 12 years old and I stumbled across my first pornography magazine. Never done heroin, but I imagine the effects can be considered similar. It was one of the most enjoyable and euphoric experiences to look at that magazine and masturbate to it. For me, personally, it was also shameful and scary because at this time, it contradicted what I believe was good in the eyes of God. This is probably neither here nor there, but I feel it is important to understand in my story, I was in the full throes of this addiction as the years passed. I was obsessed with pornography and masturbation as the years went on. Over the last decade, though, I still use pornography and masturbated multiple times a day, but it's not the obsession it once was. My taste for pornography have evolved over the years. First, it was basic softcore pornography, what was considered hardcore. Then I was into what people called cybersex, and in recent memories, I've looked at just about every type of pornography available. Aside from gay porn, there's a lot I could say about this.